tomorrow?
Where are you in No?
No, I'm still in Toowoomba.
Home. Yeah, you're home. All right.
Maybe
What we're going to
maybe
do,
about 10 o'clock or something tomorrow.
Oh, yeah, okay, no worries. What we're going to do, I don't know where CJ is. He probably hasn't paid his internet bill again while he's living the high life over there in Bali. So we'll go ahead without him, brother. But firstly, I just want to acknowledge the traditional custodians where we all work, meet and play and just pay the utmost respect to all our old people, our ancestors and all our elders, past, present and any in the up and coming. And just pay tribute to my mob, the Muddy Muddy people, down there in southwestern New South Wales. So I'm going to hand it over to you, brother. Tell us a little bit about yourself. And, yeah, just tell us what you're up to, brother.
So, those who Dalton, I'm a budgeted Mardigan man, Southwest Queensland. Born and raised in Charleville. A lot of family ties to come. A little bit about myself. Did primary school, high school in Charleville. Moved down to Toowoomba pretty much for career as every young man's dream. That line had the opportunity to play for Toowoomba. Went away to Ipswich and played for Jets. Ventured back to Toowoomba. The Wattles Warriors that are based, and then finished my football career again, brothers Toowoomba.
Chasing the big bucks.
Yeah, so they say. My sort of adult career at Goulburn Aboriginal Health Advancement, had a few changes. Law maintenance worker.
Yeah, wow.
In the old home. Then ventured into our child protection area doing unit, so recruiting foster and kinship carers in family support, so early intervention. And then from there, I've pretty much spun around on a bar stool and said, which part look at early education and aged care? So I did being a coordinator of both of those. So the hippie program, which is home interactive program, and then the old hack program to the Commonwealth Home Support Program, CHSP is what they know. And then I sort of had a bit of a passion and love for, and so yeah, I sort of dropped off the early education stuff, went in, and then probably the new financial year or around June sort of time, I've been promoted again, given the opportunity. Lizzie and the team at Gilbury, a deputy CEO role now for community services, the whole of family and child wellbeing, so all of our space, and the aged care still level care now to high care. Now, so a little bit fishing, obviously, caravanning.
Oh, look out.
Outside do golf. Tried outside as I can. The caravans, that's just a new little hobby I've started taking up. Probably in the last only 2 months old, if that. The fishing's been born and raised as hunter and gatherers and everything like that comes with it. What else?
Brother, I do want to just jump in there a little bit and just hear a little bit.
You're right.
A little bit to maybe tell us a little bit about the aged care, because you've done some exciting work there, growing it from a pretty small operation into something that is really exciting now, and it's fairly big, yeah?
Yeah, massive. So back in the day, it used to be only four provided. Um, so that was lawn maintenance, social support group, and social support individual, any one-on-one support with elders, taking them shopping and everything. From there, I had the opportunity of applying for a tender with some people that grew another two into domestic assistance and so now we provide the sixth, you could pretty much say early intervention of aged care services. The last probably 12 months, Gilbury was successful in for the old home care packages, which is now supported home. So what that does, we're approved to provide the six categories that are within that. So anything from community, from community engagement through to allied health, through to clinical, all that sort of stuff, and everything like that. The only thing we don't have, and the only thing way of is residential
Yeah.
aged care facilities. I know might see a light at the end of the tunnel there somewhere, and don't always love to try and have our own sort of Torres Strait Islander residential aged care facility. That's the way it
Yeah.
is. But the most exciting part about is Bilby's got a massive footprint between, from Cunnamulla down to Dirranbandy, is Quilpie at this stage, and then up to Yarraman is putting aged care services in between.
Wow. Wow.
But the most is now being a registered provider for aged care is actually allow us to service the nation. So we're off pretty
Wow.
much.
Yeah. Okay. That's fantastic.
So yeah,
100%. So, yeah, look, I just wanted to say congratulations on your new role as well. It's a fantastic achievement, brother. I mean, just your story in itself, coming from where you started off, and who knows where you're going to end up. So, but it's just an amazing story, and every time I hear it, I hear a little bit more that I didn't know. You know what I mean? So, congratulations with that. Now, I do want to just ask you about the new little venture you got with your cousin Adrian.
yep. So Blood Brothers Fishing, side hobby business that it's actually a side hobby because we enjoy doing it. So pretty much bring any elderly sort of person together, whether we go sit on country, go to different lakes, river systems, educate things around knife rig setups, um, stuff with sounders and stuff like that. What bait species are protected in which regions and why, and all that stuff. But most important part is it's that safe space for people to come and start the healing process. We want
Yeah.
to give them open their eyes up on of what's around, what services they can access and stuff like that. We want them to take any accountability on the have going on. So it's just accepting that the fact that everyone that or challenges, they're not always issues. Sometimes they're just
100%.
but accepting that and know too. Creating a safe space for people to talk, smell and smoke. People have the opportunity to talk if they, feel something. A lot of people reflect emotions to songs and stuff in the background, and teach camp ovens, you name it. It's pretty much just a nice big come together. And don't worry, we're not just the teachers. We're learning off them at the same time. So
Yeah, true, brother. I mean, and just for you and Adrian or Barna, whatever we're going to call him, but we'll call him Adrian for now. It's just an amazing give back too, I think, from you guys to be able to, share a little bit about, what you guys have been through and, also the skills and the tools that come with, like that little bit of life experience that you guys have got, and to give back to some of these younger fellas and some older fellas, and it doesn't really matter who they are, but I just think it's a tremendous, beautiful thing to do, brother. And why I'm excited is because with Blood Brothers Fishing, Mibamba have now got a beautiful partnership there where you guys are going to take I believe it's 15 lads out tomorrow till Sunday. So Thursday till Sunday. I can't wait to hear about this, brother, because I just think it's just an amazing thing. I mean, as you know, like we've run our camps and our gatherings, since 2007 now. So this is just another beautiful partnership that we're going to be able to have to be able to put something together for community. And I just can't wait to hear what's happened and some of the experiences, brother.
Yeah, what it is, Jack. It's definitely a genuine partnership where we're there because at the end of the day, we're both there for community. If no one, if we're not going to do it, who's going to do it? So we think in anything that we can give people the opportunity. What can come of this between definitely Blood Brothers. Again, it's only going to be. This is the first of many. There's going to be, whether there's things that we link into the gathering that you guys have and anything like that.
Definitely
excited because we've got a couple of young fellows that can turn second time turning up. But we've got a new young fellows too that are mixed. And I think with this camp, I think the young. And the eldest one is within his fifth, so it's a good mixture.
Yep.
Which would be great. Everyone will have their own story to talk about.
Oh, definitely.
If they want to talk about it, they might want to.
Oh, it doesn't take long, brother. And as you know, it doesn't take long for if when you create that safe space and especially around a fire, and we all love to sit around a fire and have a yarn and talk about, as you said before, concerns, issues, and mostly solutions as well. So I think it's a fantastic. I'm excited by it, brother. So, and I know you guys have you did one in partnership with the Jaden Adams Foundation as well a couple of months ago. And this is the second one, and it's going to be like such a beautiful journey for you guys. I just don't know where you fellas get the time because I mean you're both already committed to community, so much and so full time in it that this is something that's probably just about a full time job as well. So you're going to be working plenty of hours, brother. So
it's definitely it'll be challenging, as everything's always a challenge at the start, Jacko, and then you sort of try and work out where you want to be, how much time you want to look at the end of the day. If you can have one of those jobs where you're turning up value for what it is and getting paid to do it is really amazing. Everyone would want to do it, but if it was that easy, big community people, we grow up in a small community. Adrian and I, well, probably back when we were a relation of 5,000 people. Now it's probably half that. In the other community, we've seen the struggles, around suicide and
Yeah.
in what would you say, like, um, and then we'll always see the challenges of leaving too. When some people say it's all well and this and that, but that doesn't mean it leaving the town is going to be any better. Just means that you've got better opportunities. But if you don't take, you're still going to be the same old person. So it's always good to go
Yeah,
home and stuff like
100%.
this and riverbanks and stuff. You know what I mean? Like for us, we'd like to go home as much as we can to Charleville, but we for sorry business and stuff like that. So for us, banks, but if we
Yeah.
can touch any other riverbank on the way through and hear that, we're still touching our spirit and connecting back to who.
And brother, that is the beautiful thing about it, because as you said, all right, because a lot of people yearn for, to touch country, if you like, and sometimes we think it's got to be our own country. But if if like what you're saying, you go to Chinchilla, you sit on the banks. If you're got that self belief and that sense of belonging, it goes a long way. You can go to a different part and sit by that river, or sit under that tree, or sit by the
Yep.
ocean, or wherever it may be. And if you have that sense of belonging, it goes a long way to create, that beautiful sense of identity that some people yearn and long for. So
Oh, 100%. Like, we all know that it's the same waterways connections. We're all, no matter where, we're the same sun, the same moon, the same stars. We're feeling the,
100%,
we get the same rainfall. Like, yeah, it's just
100%, brother. Yeah, yeah, no, true, true. Now we've got a couple of people who said g'day here. So we've got Derek Wilson. He said, "Evening, brothers. Hey Nathan, love the program, brothers fishing." And we've got Jeff Sentence there, and he said, "Hello team, how are we all?" And Derek said, "Fishing is the greatest equaliser. I can sit on a pier or riverbank and people chill, relax, and yarn." And it's so true, isn't it? So
absolutely. And there's just something about the hobby, especially men or males in general, kids too, about it that just, whether you learn from your father, whether your uncle, your mother, your auntie, doesn't matter. They all have their own style, been taught by different people, but it all just seems to just, Aboriginal, it all just seems to just tie into just one big generational learning.
and and you're spot on, brother. And that part of that oral history is something that is really big in our cultures, if you like. So, and like it goes so far. Like you learn off your dad, he learns off his dad, and it's passed down through generation to generation. So, like a lot of the time, people will say, like if we go back to say colonization and the sort of, and I know we got a little bit off topic here, but if we go back to that and we look at how demanding that was on our communities with that whole divide and conquer thing, where our men and our males and our boys, we got lost and we got caught up in losing roles and losing these sort of things. And it's only been
Yeah,
the last few years, 20, 30 years or whatever, that we're able to find our rightful place in society, and whatever that may be. But and that's nothing against our women folk and our kids and all that, all whole of communities, because all our fellas want to do is be able to stand by our women that have been so strong.
absolutely. There's if we talk about as men, we like to be protectors, we like to be hunters,
Yes, yes,
gatherers, you know, go through that initiation. We'd like to have all that, but yeah, we're starting to how we can um, bring it into today's that. But at the end of the day, history is we unfortunately we can't change what happened. We just need to be able to and give
Yeah,
the respect and talk about it. If we talk about it, you wouldn't have the confusion arrays of Australia Day and all that sort of stuff together, and you know, reuniting
a hundred
and
percent.
reconciling. So
100%. And I think that like with the work that we all do, it is really about being in the now. And if we can live in the now, and of course we're going to remember, what's happened in the past and acknowledge that, as you said, but we need to be able to live for now because, as you said before, again, we cannot change the past. So what can we do about it? We can acknowledge it and learn from it, but if I guarantee you, if we live in the now, it's going to take care of our future as well.
and that's probably a good key point when you talk about future. Straight to my mind is like look at the sample. They talk about this stuff in the history of school, an amazing thing straight up. We're educating. So change, but it is what it is. Because I know when I was at
Well,
schools and Roman emperors and the Egyptians and stuff, it's nice if I'm going touring, but I'd like
and I
like
think
don't get me wrong,
now go
there's
on,
some
bro.
there's some good things, some good what would you say, real things that the colonization have to offer now. I've got a roof over my head, I've got a house, I drive a car, I've got caravan, stuff like that. So I appreciate all that. Again, I also don't want to forget about, yes, thank you for everything that you've given me in material wise, acknowledge and educate the history as well.
But yeah, and I think that goes Yeah, and I think that goes back to like what we were talking about before. Like acknowledging our ancestors, our old people, for the fight that they were in to enable us to be able to have what we have today. I mean, and don't get me wrong. I mean, everything that we have, we work for, and it's some people go, oh, you're lucky to have this, you're lucky to have that, but it's not really luck, is it? I mean, it's about I know what your work ethic is, and your whole ethos around work, and it's not just about luck, but it's about you trying to better
Yeah,
yourself and knowing that people in your past couldn't have that same those same things. But so you're going to make them proud and make yourself proud and be grateful for what you have got.
yeah, hopefully trying to change it was is generational wealth. Want to try and give
Yes.
to, I'm not going to be here forever. So all my gears, so if I can set up the next person and then they keep it going, then yeah, starts to bring, that's one thing I'd love to do for my people, not just my family.
And yeah, definitely. And I was just going to say to you, so what would be one tip on? Because I know how hard you work and how like you want to have some of the good things of life, which hey, which is beautiful. You know what I mean? What would be one tip you would give to some young fellas, maybe even on the camp on the weekend?
Yeah. So there's one thing that I seen the other day, and my little cousin sent it to me. So right, and in that triangle, at each point, you had, on the first point, bottom point down the bottom right, you had money. The last point, you had quality. And from this is you can only have two of those things at any one time. You're going to swap and
Yeah.
change to see what they are, but you can't have them all at the same time. Choose you want time or money in life, but you won't have quality life. You either have money and quality, but you'll have no time of what you have. And then you have quality and time, most richest things in the world, but you'll have no money. My advice to people that have heard that is sit out. It's going to come in. You're not going to have just the two set things to come through and swap and change and just enjoy each moment as it can work out which one is wholesome for you, works for you, work on that. That's what I'd go with, and that's exactly the message that I'll tell the boys over the camp
Beautiful, brother. Beautiful.
as well.
Beautiful. Now, I just want to say to that as well, like, I've probably learned a fair bit of that this year, having my heart event that I had and, like probably going too flat out at times and, trying to fit, too much into weeks and those sort of things. And I know how much it's sort of affected me and not just me, but family as well. So, now, and I agree with what you're saying with this, the time and the wealth and the quality. And so what we've decided is to not do as much of that work and not as in such a hurry, but try and spread it out a little
Yeah.
bit and take that time to see our beautiful country, brother. And I know you're big on that as well because we've been away a few times, with the caravans and all that sort of stuff, and we're planning some more stuff along the way in the near future. It's just uh, beautiful to be able to, like people used to say to us, when we'd fly into communities and fly out, oh, geez, you've got the best job. You see the country and all that sort of stuff. But in reality, you weren't seeing anything. You weren't seeing all you were doing was flying in and then flying out and then to the next
Yeah.
job.
Yeah.
But the way that we're sort of doing it now is a little bit different by being on the road and taking our time to get there and then still having that quality time with community, but being able to have that
Yeah.
quality time of our own as well. So I love that triangle and I think we're going to use that a bit, brother. So
Yes. I love it too. It was just a huge cool when I watched it. So, and what I'll do on
yes,
Facebook and
buddy.
Messenger
Yes,
anyway. So then, you can utilize it. But it's definitely one of those things where in the future, for like a sign made up with that on it, so then people can then we can sit there
yeah,
and
yeah,
tell the stories and
yeah.
hopefully it's a great tool
Yeah, definitely,
to sit there
definitely.
and just reflect at life. Look, like
I,
as we all know, life's not easy. There's and barriers and curveballs and this and that. And if life was easy, we'll have the most amazing things in the world. No one would have no. That's just absolutely ridiculous. But at the end of the day, eat well, have enough sleep to reset. All like our piss ups. I like a good beer in there too. Nothing beats. But at the end of the day,
what
you
about a
gotta
vodka?
woo up some. Nah, that's you. You get me on the vodka. Things happen when we get on the vodkas.
Now, I do want to look, just have a little bit of a yarn about some of the things that might come up at the camp, if you like. And I know,
Yeah.
like we've all got a story to tell, and I know a bit about
Yeah.
your story, brother. And like a lot of the time when our fellas do get together and they do have that time to be able to reflect, time to be able to, really dig deep, if you like. a lot of it comes back to grief, doesn't it?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I have a lot of grief and loss of family members and partners, and good um, parents in particular. Like I grew up in a family predominantly women, 7 daughters, one of them being my mother. She passed away with it ended up being liver. I think it first started as cervical cancer, and then I was 10 when she passed away. Just to give people 10 years of age, I had with my old man as a kid, but he was a huge impact childhood growing up. I spent a lot of school holidays and stuff there with him, but he was never around to do the disciplinary stuff, the role modeling stuff. My uncles, my older cousins, and then as life goes on, years later, um, in my life, that was significant. That the 19, then when that happened, and then a couple of years after, it was significant. My little cousin pa, and then aunties and my grandmother, so on and stuff like that. But growing up, when I was that little 10 year up to be, I literally just turned 30 Sunday.
Yeah, that's right. Happy birthday,
So,
too, brother.
but that time period in between is roller coaster emotions. At the start, I was absolutely. I grew up fighting 16 to 25. Am I proud of it? Did I have to do it? Probably not, but at the time, way. Um, and then to it's like you just hit this age of or 30, and your brain just switches. You can't be doing that now. There's more to life than sitting and stuff like that.
Yeah,
And it's not even thinking you're a puzzle. It's just pushing in. So where you thought you were it was actually anger, emotion that me not opening up and talking about it. So if I would have did that way back when, bypassed all of that and gone straight through the intersections and had unreal. But it's made me who I am. It's taught me what all that has taught me now is have a little bit of empathy, understand, be on the outside of somebody. That's not the full picture. Always something. So, and it's not going up and talking to people. What's the issue? It's going up and just going having a yarn, introducing yourself. There's always a connection to someone in the world, and then you find that as they get comfortable, they'll start to open up more.
Brother, do you think too, like now that we've opened that can of worms, like it's a lot about people have preconceived ideas of when they meet people or they see a person, so already that judgment's in place. Whereas a lot of
Yeah,
the
yeah,
time, and I know with a lot of our work, if you can get people together just to hear the other person's story, then they go, oh shit, that's why he's like that, that lad, or that's why she's like that.
yeah,
You know what she's
yeah,
been through, and a lot of people wouldn't have understood what you've been through with the grief and that, and
yeah,
that's what the greatest gift of those of that grief that you've been through is going to be passed on to others. And I think that is so important and so coming from you because I know how much people love you and like and for those that don't know Polly Nathan, he is like the real life of the party. But there's so much more to
Yeah.
Ollie than meets that brave outside figure. You know what I mean? So there's so much more deep inside that once you sit down with you, that you can have those yarns.
Yeah, 100%. And the other day, the other sort of people to take away their own judgment of people is go sit in a hospital cafeteria one day and just sit there and try and think about what they're going through deeper into it. Go to a children's hospital
Yeah.
because that'll take your judgment away from people. You are really in those sort of places. So because the first thing is once threatened in any way, they do become they're trying to find reasons to take that fear. If there's no fear there in the first place, which there shouldn't be, until you get to know somebody,
It, and
and then
and I think that's spot on, brother, and really well said. And I just wanted to go back to the point you said before when you like to fight, from 16 to 25. Do you think that was part of I'm going to be aggressive because that's my best form of defense?
100%.
I don't want
There's
to tell people what I don't want
probably
to tell people what I've got inside, so I'm just going to go out there swinging.
100% because that was it. Like that was because I knew I had was the first thing I revert to. Where now the most always the most powerful person in the room.
Yeah, yeah.
So sit and listen and just let people talk. Just let them go
Just
through their roller coaster emotions.
just remind me not to get on the wrong side of you too, brother. All right?
Cause they're good.
No,
They're gone.
I'm
Hey.
joking, brother. I'm joking. No, I love it, brother.
So,
Thanks for coming on a quick notice too. I really do appreciate it. Yeah, it's been great having a yarn with you again. I mean, I love sitting with you, yarning with you. Anytime. I wish I could be there tomorrow. With the boys, and even if it was for a night, it'd be fantastic. But not to be this time. As I said to you last week, we're in Tennant Creek at the moment, so we're going out
oh,
bush on Sunday, I think it is. So for the week, so no power, no nothing, out to a place called Mission Block. So it's about 40 k's from Tennant Creek. So it'll be good. Well, at least we'll have our caravan because the TOs and the elders here have given us permission to be able to, take the van out there. So we look forward to it, brother. So yeah.
yeah, nice. How
So
good. Well, you
thanks for
enjoyed
coming on.
that.
Yeah, no, we will. We will. You enjoy yours too, brother. Thanks. As I said, thanks for coming on at short notice. Love what you do. Love what Adrian does as well. Thanks for coming on, and we'll talk soon. Over and out for now.
No
Thanks
worries,
everyone for
Jacobina. See you,
joining in.
everyone.